everyone, and welcome back to Tea with Me. I'm Michelle K.
I'm Michelle C.
And today we're going to be talking about 15-minute cities,
And the
or
joys.
the utopian living situation that we will all be under soon.
Coming to a city near you.
If we don't put a stop to it.
Which we have to.
We have to.
For those of you that don't know, a 15-minute city is, they're aiming to do it in Oxford, aren't they?
Oxford and Canterbury, and I believe Bath have signed up, and now Ipswich, London.
Ooh.
And we've just found out as well that, what was the American one? Cleveland in America have said they're going to do it as well. So, sorry Americans, you're not off the hook.
No. But the idea is that they separate the cities into zones where amenities are accessible within a 15-minute walk or bike ride, and you're not allowed to go out of your zone.
In a car.
Yeah.
You can walk out of your zone or cycle or bus. But if you drive out of your zone, I'll put a picture up so you can see Canterbury's proposal of their zoning thing. And basically what they've proposed is that rather than just going A to B from zone to zone across the city, you will have to go out of the city and onto a bypass, which goes around to then access the other zones.
Making your journey much longer.
Much longer, much more emissions released.
Yes, because it's all done under the guise of
goes against
climate
the
control and
emission control and all that. Yeah. But don't let the truth get in the way.
No.
Basically, they want to lower the congestion within the city centre.
Yeah.
Which means they want you to drive out of the city and go around to access something on the other side rather than drive through the middle. Which I think most people would self-do anyway, because you don't want to drive through the city centre because it's a nightmare in most cities, here in the UK anyway.
Yeah.
Because they are so congested. So most people will choose to drive out and around themselves.
Yeah. Well, the quickest route isn't always or rather the shortest.
The shortest route isn't always the quickest.
Isn't always the quickest.
No, certainly not in city centres.
No.
You ever driven in London?
I think I have a couple of times, but not since they introduced all the crazy...
the low emission zones and all that,
Just
thank you, Sadiq Khan.
Yes.
For making cars so welcome.
Yeah. And big thumbs up to Ken Livingstone on that one then too.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware, Ken Livingstone was Mayor of London back in the early 2000s. Red Ken, as he's known, because he was a Labour man, a Labour Party candidate.
And wanted to ban all cars.
All cars.
All cars.
Yeah. Said
probably not his own.
If he ever got power again, he said he would completely ban cars from the city.
Yeah. No.
And that's probably why he never got power again.
No.
That and the fact that he was such a communist.
Mm. But it has been said, certainly for Oxford, that regardless of any public outcry, it's going to happen.
Yes, the chief councillor for Oxford has said that the plans are going ahead, whether residents want it or not.
Yeah, and this is all in their best interest, of course.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, God.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's very Hunger Games, isn't it?
It is very Hunger Games.
But the thing is, it's 15 minutes now, and you've got 100 days a year where you can go out of your zone in a car. But after that, you get fined.
Yeah, you get fined for driving from zone to zone in your car. £70 in Oxford. I don't know what the other ones are proposing. Probably something similar.
It'll probably be similar for now. And of course, it's 100 days for now. And
per household.
Yeah.
So if you have more than one car, you have to split those journey times.
Yeah.
So if you live in zone 1, for example, but you work in zone 3.
Yeah.
You can't just travel from your house to zone 3. You would have to go around the entire city where everyone else is going to be driving. So you think congestion's going to be any less?
No, it's
on the bypass.
It's going to be more so.
Everyone's going to be on that bypass in the morning trying to drive to work.
Yeah.
But they're obviously banking on people working from home.
Well, they're going to have to, I suppose, aren't they, to avoid the fines? Because if they can have 100 days a year where they commute. That's assuming there's only one in the household doing it. Otherwise, it's obviously a lot less. But
you work a lot more than 100 days a year.
Well, exactly, Because, I mean, what does the average employee get? 4, maybe 5 weeks?
Yeah, and usually around 30 days, isn't it? So a calendar month of paid holiday.
Yeah, so, you know,
And most people don't take unpaid holiday. So...
No.
That's a lot more.
Yep.
That's 330 days of work.
Yeah, so they're going to have to either...
not counting weekends, obviously.
They're going to have to pay the fine or work from home.
Pay the fine or work from home, and not everyone has that option.
No. And of course, you know, are they going to put a supermarket in every 15-minute district? Corner. Because otherwise you're going to have to shop at your local store, which I'm pro because it supports local businesses, but
it's also more expensive, and obviously you don't have as many options.
Yep. So you've got that to consider.
Yep.
It's we need to not let this happen, because it's I know it's all done under the guise of being better for the environment, but I can't help but think it's control.
Well, it is.
Social credit system coming in, and it's just all driving it towards...
Well, once we have the digital ID, which is coming, the digital currency, when we're a cashless society...
We need to keep cash.
We do need to keep cash. That's a hill I'm prepared to die on.
Yeah.
Social credit system, carbon tax. And if we all have electric cars, because they want to get rid of petrol and diesel cars... So you've got your electric car, you get in it in the morning to go to your workplace because you're within your 100 days.
Yeah.
But the car won't start. And you get a message through on your phone saying, I'm sorry, you've reached your carbon limit.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had red meat on Monday.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
Yeah. This just, where does it end? It's going to keep going and going and going. Can't help but feel like a pawn in a chess game, you know.
Yeah, because as lovely as the sentiment of having everyone have local amenities that they can use and get out and walk your short journeys rather than take the car, this level of control is unprecedented.
Oh no, it's
this is basic human freedoms, basic human rights that are being violated with these proposals. And it also, there are not enough doctors and dentists as it is.
No.
If you're going to put one within every 15-minute city, where are these doctors and dentists coming from?
Yeah.
Because I haven't got a dentist. I can't get on.
No,
I can't even get a private dentist.
No, it's a real struggle. Yeah, to get a dentist at all.
Yeah, there just aren't enough.
No.
Yeah. But they reckon that you're going to have a gym, doctors, dentists, shops, green spaces. Where are they going to invent these green spaces? Because they're building on all the green spaces that we have in towns and cities.
All of these high-rise
I don't want to live in a high-rise. Like, live in the pod and eat the bugs. That's not life, is it? That's not a life I want, certainly.
No. They'll all slowly change their name to the Gulag.
Oh, here we go. A Lib Dem councillor. Lib Dem talking sense. So Lib Dem councillor Nick Eden Green, so this is in Canterbury, says the scheme raises serious questions. When I visit friends, I don't consider which zone they are living in. It's frankly ridiculous. You're creating ghettos where people are locked in and can't travel.
Yeah.
Well done, Liberal Democrats.
Yes.
Honestly. And the other thing that we were talking about before we started filming was businesses.
Yeah.
And the economics of the local area.
Yeah.
Because if people cannot travel...
No. Well, tradespeople is one I said.
And tradespeople, yeah.
You need a plumber and an electrician. Mm-hmm. They're not going to guarantee that there's one of those that's in every...
Well, they can, because people aren't allowed to move.
Well, I suppose there is that, but I mean, you know...
Perhaps when a baby is born, they'll get assigned a job.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So we just be like, you're a plumber.
Yeah.
When you grow up, and you'll just get funneled into that profession because that's what's required.
Yeah.
God, it doesn't bear thinking about.
Or if you don't have a profession, you get kicked out of all zones and you have to go and live in the woods.
I'd prefer that.
Banished. Well, yeah, actually.
I'd build my own little log cabin. Me and my family.
Hunt and forage and, yeah. But no, I definitely don't want the social credit system, and I don't want a cashless society because it's control.
Absolutely. And I am sure that people being paid cash in hand is not affecting the coffers that much. When you've got the massive corporations that are paying like nothing because of a loophole.
No, it's and ridiculous.
You're worried about a little decorator who's doing a cash in hand job. Come on,
the odd 50 quid
exactly
here and there. That's not. It's definitely not the drive behind it.
And it's so funny because everyone said it was a conspiracy theory that there were going to be climate lockdowns after the COVID lockdowns.
Oh.
You think that that's not tied into this concept?
They're all theories until they come true, and we all sit there and say, I told you so.
There were so many conspiracy theories that are now true. It's like we need more new conspiracy theories because they all came true.
Yeah, I no longer feel like a tinfoil hat wearer.
Yeah.
No, it's...
Oh, and what about churches and places of worship as well?
Well, I don't know, because obviously under the diversity, they need to have...
You'd need a church for each
mosque,
denomination, a mosque, a synagogue, Sikh temple.
Yeah, you'd need all
of them. Yeah. Because all those people live in cities.
Yeah, and they want their right to go and pray.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't really know how they're going to achieve this. That's a lot of building work.
Yeah, great for a mission.
Sort of forcing everyone to like be in this area, you know? It doesn't... Oh, God. Yeah, it doesn't bear thinking about.
It doesn't, really. I think we're all just going to be battery hens in 100 years. And there'll be selective breeding.
Well, so at the moment, the proposals are that there will be surveillance cameras.
Oh, well, that's it. That's the other thing, isn't it? Because in order for them to police people leaving their zones...
It's number plate recognition and facial recognition technology for surveillance cameras.
Yeah. And a lot more tracking involved. And where are these trackers? Are they on us? Are they on our cars? Where exactly are they installed? Because I
don't know. Yeah.
On the digital ID card that you must carry everywhere, and if you're caught without it, you're in serious trouble.
I am so angry about the digital ID thing.
So am I.
I'm so angry. I saw it on the Lotus Eaters podcast the other day. They did a segment on it, and from what they were showing, it looks like it's coming in at the end of this year. Oh my God. We're getting it, whether we want it or not, and
I don't want it.
We need a referendum on this shit.
We do, but I mean, to be fair, it's only going to be overruled anyway. I mean, you heard what we said about
the Oxford councillors.
What we can do
whether you want it or not.
Well, they can issue them, but if we all just refuse to carry them, they can't fine we need to.
There needs to be a collective pushback.
We are the 99%,
yeah,
and it's the 1% attempting to control us. Mm-hmm. And this is why it's been so important to them, hence our podcast last week about PC gone mad, to create divide. Because our 99%, we're not getting together and fighting back, but we have to. That's the only way it's going to work.
Well, yeah, because this is the fundamental fabric of our lives.
Yeah.
That they want to change.
Yeah.
And surprise, surprise, it's come from the World Economic Forum.
Oh, Klaus Schwab. Aren't you a wonderful chap?
Here's a direct quote from the WEF from March 2022. As climate change and global conflict cause shocks and stresses at faster intervals and increased severity, the 15-minute city will become even more critical.
It's always that, though. It's that fear. They're driving us through. If we don't do this, then what were the top searches earlier? We'll be underwater.
Yeah, which UK, I was trying to find out which UK cities have said that they're going to adopt the 15-minute city, but I typed in which UK cities, and the first thing that popped up will be underwater by 2050, and the second one was by 2030.
Yeah,
and I was like, do you people actually think that there are going to be parts of the UK that are underwater in 7 years?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But this is the problem. This is the climate alarmists are driving this narrative. But They've always been there.
Yeah.
It's always the world's going to end in 10 years. Oh no, it's another 10 years. Actually, it's another 10. Do you know what I mean? And it never happens.
No, it doesn't. But we must all fear it happening because it could. It just might.
Yeah. And the latest generation, Gen Z, apparently have the most crippling anxiety over climate change.
I know.
They actually genuinely think that the world is going to end. But all I can say is they need to look at some history. They need to research some history, and then they will see that these people always say it's going to end.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah, and we must take drastic measures to save the world, but really control the population.
Well, it's like the Just Stop Oil people. Like, they want us to just stop using oil completely.
Yeah.
But I don't think they grasp how much...
No.
Literally everything is made using fossil fuels. Because it's not like just, oh, well, we can use wind and solar. That's electricity.
Yeah.
That electricity is not used in the manufacturing process of everything.
No, it's not.
Your iPhone, your furniture, absolutely everything. Even the parts for the wind turbines and the solar panels are made using oil.
Yeah.
These people don't... Do you want us back in caves?
Yeah.
Or mud huts?
Yeah.
I don't think they want to give up their cushy lifestyle somehow.
No. But yeah, back in caves eating salad.
It's just a lack of education, I think.
Massively.
But this is why they don't teach critical thinking anymore in schools.
But I think because media has become such an influence on the young, you know, they can tune in and watch the BBC and... do you know, actually, my daughter said to me the other day, she said, Mum, there's going to be a zombie apocalypse. And I said, well, there's not. I said, please don't let your little sister hear that, because she will be petrified.
Yeah.
But honestly, she was adamant. No,
Where did she get that from?
Apparently it was from somebody at school who watches the news, and it was on the news that there's people, they're not actually zombies, but there's some kind of thing that causes people to go into...
Is it a drug or something?
I don't know if it's a drug or another, pandemic of... I don't know.
So, this is why I don't watch the BBC.
Yeah, well, I've not watched the BBC.
I've not watched the BBC
for years.
For donkey's years. I don't pay the licence fee. I
won't fund them either.
State-funded propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is why I don't watch... Is it Channel 4 that are owned by the government?
Probably, but I don't do any terrestrial.
I don't watch any terrestrial TV.
No.
I'm just on YouTube all the time.
Yay!
It's much nicer.
Yeah, the occasional. I just watch movies, really. Other than that, there isn't anything that. Other than Game of Thrones, I think that's the only series I've really ever watched.
Yeah.
And House of Dragon, but I'm yet to complete that.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting.
Okay.
So the C40, which is the...
Yeah, all the councillors.
The group of councillors, yeah. There's
top.
97 cities in that group. Wow. Which represents 1/12 of the world's population and 1/4 of the world's economy. So if every one of those cities adopts this 15-minute city, that is a lot of people that are living under that kind of control.
That's definitely Hunger Games, isn't it?
The first one was created in 2005 by Ken Livingstone, the London mayor that we discussed. And that was 18 cities that met then, and now it's 97. But all these summits have grown over the years. I mean, look at Davos and the WEF and the amount of influence they've got. I mean, you've got Klaus Schwab sitting there saying, we have infiltrated the cabinets of all of these Western countries. He's basically saying, all of these politicians are ours.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau,
Dirty
Emmanuel Macron.
In your pocket. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, what annoys me or frustrates me is how people can actually buy into these ideas, because it's all under the guise that it's the best thing for us and to save the world. And, you know, how many people in the population actually hear that and go, oh, okay then.
Too many.
Well, I was amazed actually during the COVID pandemic about how many
the amount
people,
of compliance,
the level of compliance and the level of fear.
They relished it, didn't they?
I think it was a social experiment, I have to say, and to see obviously this come out afterwards, it's like, well, we've done that, and actually we've discovered now
we know we can control them,
that they are quite controllable beings. So let's just continue to do that and make it worse and make it worse. And where does it end? I dread to think.
It's dystopian.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're somewhere between 1984 and Brave New World, and I've heard that before and thought it as well, and yeah.
Oh, so this is interesting. So this is interventions for clothing and textiles and stuff. So this is the targets that these people have set for what we will own, basically.
Is this going to be rationed, is it?
Yeah, well, it looks like it.
Ugh.
So the intervention is to reduce the number of clothing and textiles items. It says the target in 2030 is 8 new clothing items per person per year. Ambitious target for 2030, 3 new clothing items per person per year.
What about children? What about children that are growing?
They don't need any. They don't need any.
So they get what? 1 new top, 1 new... And I mean, are shoes included in this?
Yeah.
So you can't have a coat, I'm afraid.
No, you can't have a coat. No. Private vehicles. This is a good one. So the progressive target for 2030 is 190 vehicles per 1,000 people. So that's hardly anyone having...
That's less than 20%.
Ambitious target, 0 private vehicles. This is what they want.
So yeah, everybody, if you want to literally give up everything, then be supportive of that.
Yeah.
Who wants to give up I don't understand who would be pro this. In the population, we must all fight back.
We have to, for our own health, because like Sadiq Khan pledging that London will eat less meat. And we know it's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a school in Edinburgh, I believe, that have just taken meat completely off the menu for the children. So the children don't get any meat at all.
So it's going to be highly processed meat substitutes, because they don't generally go just vegetables.
No, they don't. It's always substitutes.
And this fake meat, which
fake
is
meat made from soy or something like that, drowned in processed seed oils.
Oh, cringe.
Yeah, it's disgusting. You look at the ingredients list for one of those Beyond Burgers, and it's very similar to an ingredients list on a dog food.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's like...
You want your kids being fed dog food?
I don't...
To be fair, the dog
food... I
food's
don't feed my dog food, because it's so bad.
At least the dog food has a bit of meat in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me started on people that put animals on vegan diets.
Oh, no, don't get me, because it's... they should be on a species-appropriate diet.
Mm-hmm. That's should we.
Well, absolutely. But
our food...
They don't want us healthy.
Things have been so corrupted.
They don't want us healthy.
No. Well, there's a reason that since they brought in the food pyramid and all the advice on what to eat, was it 6 portions of carbs a day? 6 portions of bread and pasta a day. God, can you imagine? That obesity, diabetes, everything has just gone through the roof.
Yeah.
And now they're blaming all these sudden deaths on climate change.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know what I blame it on, but that's
a completely healthy young person dropped dead of a heart attack. It's climate change, I'm afraid. So they better go live in their 15-minute city and eat the rations.
It's actually laughable if people believe this. I mean... Because that's the other thing, if we're sick, we're not thriving and we're not thinking, and, it does create brain fog, doesn't it? A poor diet and
it does.
Lack of nutrition.
You're tired. Yeah. You're groggy. You can't think straight. You're generally overweight.
Yeah.
And
just feel lethargic. And
all the time.
Don't have motivation. Climate. I can't get my. That's hilarious.
Yeah, don't point out the obvious. Look at the.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
But someone said, like say a year, 2 years ago, they couldn't wait to tell you the daily death toll.
Which was always different, right? The BBC figures were always different. And I did look this up myself to the government, the Office of National Statistics.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, there's a bit of a difference there. Why are we being told by mainstream media that it's this when it's actually not?
But it was also very apparent to me quite early on that people don't know what the average daily death rate in our country is anyway.
No, but you have to go back to previous years and analyse the data, which I did. And
exactly. They should
Come
have
on,
been...
people!
All we needed to know was excess deaths.
Yeah.
And there's more excess deaths now than there was at the height of the pandemic. So... But that's as a result of, well, I mean, it's numerous things, isn't it? But it's missed GP appointments where they could have had an early diagnosis and now they haven't. So they're basically told, sorry, you're terminal. Nothing we can do.
No.
And,
And other reasons.
And obviously the suicide rate is still starting.
Yes.
People can't access mental health amenities and stuff because the NHS is on its knees, as it always is. I mean, that needs an overhaul.
Oh, it does, absolutely. But I mean,
but you can't talk about it because people get so precious about the NHS, and it's like, but I'm sorry, it's a money pit.
Yes, it really is.
But it's where money goes to die.
Yeah.
In the middle management level. It needs stripping way back to be a basic health service because, I mean, that's what it was supposed to be anyway. If we shouldn't be having plastic surgery on the NHS.
No.
Yeah.
But the priority, you know, when I see people getting surgery and it's really, that's really not, perhaps you need therapy. You don't need to have
but they can't access therapy.
Or correct,
There's no mental health going on no help for people
well,
these
we need
days,
less plastic surgeons then, don't we? I mean, it's...
I mean, it's fine if you want to pay for it.
Well, absolutely,
pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, I paid to have my teeth straightened because I couldn't get it done on the NHS.
No.
So I paid for it myself. But this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
But there's an awful lot of people who feel very entitled because we have the NHS. And they're like, well, why should I pay to access this stuff? And it's like, well, are you even paying tax?
Yeah, it's not really a health thing, is it? You know?
No, but I knew girls when I was in the RAF who got their boobs done on the NHS because they went and cried, it's affecting my mental health. So they would go to like the padre, who was the priest. They would go to them or to like the chief medical officer and like in floods of tears. This is where we have like female privilege.
Yeah. Floods
of tears. I'm really self-conscious about my small boobs. And they got boob jobs paid for. And these are serving military people.
That's disgraceful. That's really just an abusive position, like as a female. Could you imagine if a man did that? You know, because he wanted... He'd get laughed at.
He probably would have, not necessarily laughed at, but the doctor would have been like, no. Yeah. That's not happening, mate. Do you need therapy?
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
But... I don't know.
So anyway, 15-minute cities. Yay or nay?
Yes, let us know, because, I mean, we're definitely nay.
Yeah, I don't want your utopia.
No.
I'm quite happy living in a capitalist free market society. I don't want to live in your pods and eat the bugs. I don't want to.
No, I don't either.
Oh, and on that subject, I saw a very disturbing article that apparently the EU, in the next day or so, is going to sign off a new law or something that they can put bugs into flour and baked goods and stuff without telling anyone. So I'm glad we're out of the EU now.
For what? To what end, though? What
As
purpose?
a substitute. It's like...
Oh, okay.
So they're going to ground up the bugs.
Well, I mean, cochineal, they've been
flour.
doing that, like, with the pink dye, haven't they? The pink, red food dye and that. That's like cochineal, which is ground beetles or something. So, yeah. But at least you know, don't you?
Well, this is it, because...
But where do vegans stand on that? Because they're driving everyone to be vegan, and then it's like, have bugs. But that's not... If you can't have honey, then wow.
Yeah. Mm. But there's some vegans now that will eat, like, mollusks and stuff, because they found that they're non-sentient.
How can they?
I don't know. But at least they're getting some protein.
Non-sentient.
Yeah.
How on earth can they...
Well, they don't feel pain or anything like that, these
So have they...
mollusks. I know other sea creatures.
But they have also said that babies don't feel pain, so giving baby many inoculations when they're born is fine, because they don't feel pain. And I don't agree with that. I don't think that's true. Babies do feel pain.
It's also fine to abort babies right up to 9 months gestation. To these people as well.
I don't know.
I mean, if that's not horrendous.
But to be honest with you, we're probably getting to the stage like they did in China with the forced sterilisation and because they were limited, weren't they? They were allowed one child.
Yeah, but China are reaping those bloody benefits now, aren't they? Because their population growth is stagnated to the point where they can't, like their birth rate is not high enough to combat their death rate. So it's a bit like us, really, and we never had like a one-child rule or anything like that. But you think of the amount of people in China.
Yeah.
I mean, God. But their birth rate is not high enough, and it's their own doing, really, because they're pushing people into these jobs. It's a bit like our society with the feminism, which is what we talked about in an earlier episode, where the women have to work. The family isn't appreciated anymore or valued. Being a stay-at-home mum is very much looked down on.
Community's gone.
I'm guilty of that. In my younger days, I looked down on being a stay-at-home mum. But
well, I said in that podcast, raised. I called myself just a
stay-at-home,
just mum. A full-time mum.
Just a mum.
And they corrected me and said, never say just. And that really resonated with me, and I held on to that.
Well, it's the most important thing you'll ever do, but girls are told that their career is the most important thing they'll ever do.
You must go and do this and that. And...
Yeah, but they couldn't understand why all these like high-paid lawyers, women, were reaching their 30s and then leaving.
Yeah.
And it's like, because when it gets down to it, that's not what drives us as women.
No, it isn't.
You get some masculine women with masculine tendencies.
Yeah.
Who, for them, it's like the drive, the competition, that's what's important to them. But most women, you reach your 30s and you realise...
If you haven't had kids by that point, my biological clock is ticking.
That's it, the clock starts ticking.
Yeah. Well, it starts because everything sort of starts to deteriorate biologically from the age of 28. In that reproductive area. So, really our prime time is before 28 to reproduce.
Very much so. Well, this is why people used to have kids younger, because we didn't live as long.
No.
And you wanted to have as many kids as you could, because a lot of your kids would end up dying from disease and stuff.
Poor sanitation.
Yeah. Terrible living conditions and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my mum was one of 6.
Wow. Yeah, no, my dad's one of 5. My mum's only one of 3, but
Yeah. Big families. They're kind of a thing of the past now, though.
Yeah, well, you still get, isn't there, what's the record on it? It always amazes me. Some like 14
God, there's some that have got like 20 kids or something.
But that's broken.
That's mostly in the States, isn't it? It's not so much over here. I think you do get some big families, but my God, I can't imagine having 20 babies.
No, I'd be exhausted.
Yeah, but we've gotten way off topic.
Yes, we have.
So anyway, let us know your thoughts on the 15-minute city. Are you for? Are you against? Do you think it's a good idea in principle, but in practice it's just unrealistic? Or do you think like we do, that it's a slippery slope to a totalitarian, authoritarian government.
And social credit.
And state control over every aspect of your life.
And heavy surveillance.
Are we heading into V for Vendetta? Have you seen that
No,
film?
give me the mask now.
Yeah, just give me the mask.
Just give me the mask.
Yeah.
There is actually a group, isn't there? Like an anarchist, group that wear the masks.
Yeah. Do you know what? It amazes
I'll wear one
me.
of those and a tinfoil hat to live in the woods.
With their abilities, that hacker group, they could do so much good in the world.
Oh.
They could do so much good.
Bring it on.
I remember when, like, this was years ago, when they started shutting down all of ISIS's websites.
Yeah. That
was funny. But anyway, drop us a comment.
Yes.
And if there's anything you want us to discuss, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.